Libraries have been a part of my life since I was a child. And the worst thing that happened to me as a child was because of my vision getting poorer and poorer as a child. And my doctor thought that the solution to my eyes not getting any worse was to only be allowed 4 books a month from the library. For somebody who was a good reader, that was a very mean thing to say. It didn't make a difference. The eyes got worse anyhow. And that was a really wrong decision, but I learned to live with it. Today, I have problems with reading books because I have to read accounting. So I found some solutions because I cannot live without books. One of them, a friend of mine, turned me on first to books on tape that she used in the car driving to work, which I did, except I hate to tell you what happens to books on tape that are taken out of the library. Not the library's fault, but they get awfully mangled. I was so happy when I got a car with a 6 CD changer that I could change to books on CD. And one of my joys is reading the new list of books that are available each month on CD. Then, when I had a significant birthday a couple of years ago, I turned 30, and I told everybody, do not give me a Kindle. I don't want a Kindle. I won't have a Kindle. I like books. And when I go on vacation, I'll go out and buy a mess of paperbacks so I can take them and leave them behind for other people to read. Well, my brother, who lives in California, heard that message and bought me I'm going on a couple of trips in the next 2 months. My Kindle's coming with me. And I want to thank Bob King for finally getting Amazon to move off their duck and make a deal with libraries so those of us that have Kindles can finally take out books from the library. My late husband loved to read. Now, he did something with your library books that would shock you but never hurt them. He read when he took a shower. He took the longest showers in the world, 45 minutes to an hour. But he did it in a way that he never got a book wet. He had his back to the shower, so he was getting a water massage while he was standing there and reading. I happen to think the library is one of the best gifts we give to Broward County residents. I have always had a great appreciation for all the many things you do. But a year and a half ago, when I was at a meeting of the Hollywood Women's Club, some of the library people who work for us came and talked about the many things that the library does besides books and computers. We all know about the computers, and I know whenever I go to the Hollywood Public Library, where I happen to have an office, the computer room with about 50 or 60 computers is always filled. It fills a big need for those who can no longer afford to have computer service. It fills a big need for children whose parents can't afford to have a computer so they can look up things for their schoolwork. But it also is a gem within our community. And it really helps a lot of people get a job, do a resume, learn how to use a computer. Some of these things you fund. You fund the e-book devices so that people can take out e-books. But I'm sure up till now you only gave out Sonys and Nooks because they could take out library e-books. And now those of us who were condemned to Kindles that we didn't choose can now take out library books as well. The difference, by the way, what's wrong with Kindles besides the fact that libraries couldn't get us books up until now, they're not backlit, in case those of you are looking for a e-reader. I think some of the others are, but I don't know. With more than that, the library does so many different things. I am going in 2.5 weeks on a trade mission to Brazil. So when I was in this library, I looked for a CD book on Portuguese, and I've now learned that there are 2 types of Portuguese dialects. One is European and one is Brazilian. And I wanted to know a few phrases to go there and at least not look like an ugly American. Luckily, when I walked out of the library with this book on Portuguese, a CD one, which I have since returned, because I discovered it takes too much concentration to try to learn a language and drive safely. Hal Donovan saw what I had in my hand, and he said, "Did you know we have a program you can put on your computer at home? It's called Byki, B-Y-K-I. You can learn a language with flashcards from the library. Using your library card, you sign into the system, and you can learn a language at home." I have become an instant lover of Byki, which I don't think anyone in this room ever heard of before. Is there anyone that ever used it or heard of it? It's B-Y-K-I. You can access it with your library card, and because he happened to have seen the Portuguese thing in my hand, I was lucky. It was serendipity, and now I've learned of another service that the library offers to the public that they can learn a language at home and no one knew. I have done something during this year while I've been mayor, and that is each month spotlight one agency, one department of Broward County government. The first one I wanted to start with, ever since I heard about all the many things that the library does that I didn't even know about, was to highlight the library. Staff has resisted me. November is my last month as mayor. The library will be our featured department because I want everyone to know this is my last term on the commission, both because of term limits and because of Sue Gunzburger's term limits. Whether the law gets overturned or not, I've given myself to public service since 1982, and I think it's time for someone else in 2014 to take my seat. What I plan to do when I retire is to help out in 2 programs. I was a therapist, a clinical social worker, so I plan to volunteer at the Mental Health Association running groups, but I also was a teacher, and I plan to volunteer at a program that I learned about at our library, Each One Teach One, which is teaching adult literacy. I may be retiring from paid public service, but I'm going back to my roots in volunteerism, and the library has the opportunity for so many volunteers that it's wonderful. What I want you to know, one other program at the library that has a place in my heart is one that I helped start. The library's been my partner in this program, and this is After School at Your Library. And I'm going to tell you how it came into being. A long time ago, it's 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when my oldest grandchild was learning how to read, and she was reading a book, and we were reading it together when I was visiting her up in Syosset, New York. And I said, well, we'll read together. I'll get a copy of the book from the library, and you'll read it, and I'll read it with you. So I went to the Hollywood library. I couldn't find it, but I found out it was at the Carlin Branches Library. I went there, and it was like around 2:30, and there was a whole bunch of youngsters in the library. So I went to the librarian and I said, who are these children? Well, every day after school, the school bus lets them off. There's no parents at home, so they come here. They try to do their homework. We try to help them, but there was no organized program. neighborhoods when there's no parent at home, certainly today in this economy. And that, out of that, came the program, After School at Your Library. Children's Service Council, which I serve on, past chair, helps fund this program in concert with the library system. We have it in 11 libraries in lower income neighborhoods where the children really need the help. Certified teachers, they have a snack, they come there and stay there till 6 p.m. It's a safe environment. It's something that really makes a difference in these children's lives, but so does the library in every person's lives. Thank you for helping fund the library. I encourage you to get more volunteers into those libraries. The Friends of the Library care passionately about the library, but you provide the funding. We need books, we need e-books, we need more computers. Everything you do truly makes a difference in the lives of the people in Broward County. And on behalf of the County Commission, and especially my passion, I want to thank each and every one of you for working so hard for the betterment of our community.